Basil Christopher Butler, OSB, the 7th of May 1902 to 20 September 1986, was a convert from the Church of England to the Roman Catholic Church. He was a Roman Catholic priest, the 7th Abbot of Downside Abbey, one-time Abbot President of the English Benedictine Congregation, an auxiliary bishop of Westminster, an internationally respected scripture scholar, a consistent defender of the priority of the Gospel according to Matthew, and the preeminent English-speaking council father at the Second Vatican Council, 1962–65. Religious life. In 1928, after an illustrious career as undergraduate at Oxford University and a year teaching at Brighton College, Butler, baptized in the Church of England, was received into full communion with the Roman Catholic Church. The next year, he became a monk of the Benedictine community of Downside Abbey, a house of the English Benedictine Congregation, and was ordained priest there in 1933. In 1946 the community elected him as their abbot, which he remained for 20 years until his consecration in 1966 as titular Bishop of Nova Barbara and auxiliary bishop to Cardinal John Carmel Heenan in the Archdiocese of Westminster. Scholarly career. Butler's wide-reaching interests and competence included theology, spirituality, contemplative prayer, ecumenism, the Church Fathers and the dialogue with contemporaries such as Bernard Lonergan, defending, like his predecessor Abbot John Chapman and his fellow monks, Dom Bernard Orchard and Dom Gregory Murray, the traditionally maintained priority of the Gospel according to Matthew. Butler published a critique of the two-document hypothesis and a study of the indebtedness of the Gospel according to Luke to the Gospel according to Matthew. Cf. Synoptic problem. Role at Vatican II. It was in his capacity as Abbot President, 1961–66, of the English Benedictine Congregation and as an outstanding scripture scholar, that Butler was called to Rome to participate in Vatican II, 1962–1965. He was one of maybe 24 men who made the council, contributing, often in fluent Latin, to many of the council's documents, e.g., the dogmatic Constitution on Divine Revelation, Dei Verbum, which he regarded as their very underpinning, and subsequently was a strong proponent of the teachings of Vatican II. Publications. Butler was a prolific writer. A bibliography of his books, articles and reviews running to some 337 titles. He was a popular guest on the BBC's radio programmes. Photograph of Bishop Christopher Butler in 1983. Photograph with Pope John Paul II. Hierarchy. Vatican II, Voice of the Church. Bibliography of Butler's writings and list of his guest appearances on BBC Radio. B.C. Butler's Developing Understanding of Church. An Intellectual Biography. By Ann T. Flood.